What's up, guys? It's your girl, Royal Vybz, and I want to thank you for tuning in to Royal Vybz Networks today in our story time on memory lane. The last I think the last story time I gave you guys the options of memory lane or pillow talk for the story titles for our story time. So it's still in the works, but for now, this is going to be under memory lane. I'm going to talk about our my first time dealing with a loss or experiencing a loss and how I dealt with that. I was young. I lost my father when I was 7 years old. And this story time also will go side and side with next week's segment, Footprints. So make sure to tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. is when I usually upload on this channel. But yeah, so to go over the story is like, he kind of saved my life, not saved my life, but saved me from getting my ass beat from my mom at the time, and then the day after that he was gone, so that hit me hard when I lost him. I was 7 years old and we were living with my grandfather at the time. I want to say I was in like the first or second grade. More than likely second grade because I was 7 years old, yeah, so a little bit of a backstory is a couple weeks before my father passed away, my mom got tired of her brother, and the brother I'm talking about, I lost him as well. So maybe I'll give you both story times now, but he was like big into playing video games, so he'd come home and immediately be on the video games, like on Tomb Raider for hours on end, and my mom got tired of it. So one day when he was at school, she hid his video games, and this was weeks ago, before he passed away. She hid his video games, and he so that he wouldn't notice, so that he wouldn't play the video games or whatever the case may be. So then like a week or two goes by and I forgot why she put them up or hid them. I knew where she hid them, I knew when she did it, I knew she hid them, whatever the case may be, but I didn't think anything of it. I forgot why she was hiding them in the first place. So my uncle, like weeks later, noticed that the games were missing because he wanted to play the game, and I was like, oh yeah, the game is over there. So like this is the day before my dad passed away. So I was like, yeah, the game's up there, and I told him where the game was, whatever the case may be. So he starts playing the game. A little bit of time goes by, and then my mom gets mad, just outright mad, starts screaming and yelling at me. She was asking me, why did I tell him that the games were up there? I had no business telling him that the games were up there. She went to get the belt, started whooping my ass, so bad. So my dad, heard that she was doing that, and so he stopped her, because he understood that I didn't know it was a mistake, So he was like, don't, stop beating her, stop giving her a whooping. So, yeah, he kind of saved me from that whooping. And then the next morning, all I remember hearing is my mom just rushing out of her room, crying. We didn't go to school that day, I know that. So I don't know if it was actually a weekend or a weekday, but we didn't go to school that day. And so my little brother and sister are super young too. My little brother was an infant, and my sister was 2 years old at the time, and my older sister, she was like probably eight or 9 at that time. So it was 4 of us, and yeah, she ran out of her room crying, and I didn't hear much. She was just super panicked, and then all of a sudden an ambulance and police showed up. My mom went missing. My aunts and uncles, my grandfather were all there, keeping us company. We were confused. All I know is my dad was taken out and sent to the hospital. So in my head, I was just like, oh, hopefully he's okay. We don't know. They're not telling us what's going on with my father whatsoever. So the cops were asking us questions like our age and birthday and name and stuff like that to like put it for their records of the case of the situation that was going on. And like later on that day, I don't know if a couple days went by, just like everything just meshed together, but I don't know if it was later on that day or the day after, my mom finally sat down with us, and you know, I know the thing is, I know we had time, me, my sisters, and my older sister and my little sister. We made little cards, get well cards for my dad and stuff like that, and we went to show our mom, and she sat us down. We let our mom know, and she was just crying the whole time while we're, you know, reading her cards to him and stuff like that. And that's when she was like, and we didn't understand, you know, we're like, why are you crying? We know it's sad, dad's sick, you know, but she let us know that he did pass away. They didn't know at the time exactly, but he ended up passing away from an aneurysm. What happened that morning, pretty much what my mom told me, is that he woke up for his, you know, to go into work, but he got up early to go into work, so he had like 10 minutes to go back to sleep. So he said he was gonna go back to sleep, gave her a kiss goodnight, and gave her a kiss, and then went back to sleep and never woke up. By the time she had to wake up or the alarm went off, he was not waking up, not responding, or whatever the case may be. So that's what happened. I remember just feeling so like, I was devastated. I was immediately devastated. I don't remember actually crying initially at the time. Mostly just a whole bunch of confusion at the time. I think I really cried when we got to the funeral and I saw his body and stuff like that, because I was scared, and at the same time, because I'm looking at a dead body, so I was scared, you know, that one, I'm looking at a dead body, and two, it's my father's. And all I could reflect back on was like, he was just saving me from getting beat, and now he's gone, you know. So like, I don't remember, like I said, crying up until the funeral, because everything just felt so confused and dark and lost. And I remember feeling angry, and I remember not talking after a while. I stopped talking to my family. I only talked to my mom about things, or whenever I talked to my mom and my siblings every now and again, and I never talked to my aunts and uncles and other cousins as much after he passed away. Yeah, so I'm really known for being the quiet one in the family, but I just stopped talking because that was my favorite person, you know. One of my favorite people is gone, and that sucked. But yeah, then my uncle passed away. The uncle that that my mom hid the video games from, he passed away around in 2013 or 2012, right before I found out well, it wasn't right before I found out I was giving birth. It was right before I found out I was pregnant with my son. It was like a couple weeks I found out I was pregnant with my son, out of nowhere. I was having problems with my son's dad. Like, we were having issues and arguing, and my mom just texted me randomly out of nowhere that my uncle passed away, and the issue.
I'm sorry about that glitch, guys, and if the quality changed in the video, it's because my memory got full on that. I don't even remember what I last left off on. I believe I was talking about my uncle who passed away. He passed away, like I said, around the time that I found out I was giving birth to my son. So that hit hard because, like I said, he was very involved in my life that entire time after my father passed away. So it hurt when I lost him. I was older, yeah, but once I lost him, it just like I guess it was like a collection of, I lost him and I was upset because I was having a fight with my baby dad at the time. My mom was devastated. I was going through emotional ups and downs because I was pregnant, just finding out I'm pregnant and stuff. So it was overwhelming losing him as well. So next week, though, I'll be uploading I changed our Let's Talk moments to footprints. So next week I'll be talking about mourning a loss in regards to this story time. You know, that's why I said next week's segment on footprints will go side and side with the story time, so that you can understand what my perception of mourning, and you know, that there's so many different ways of mourning, and it's just like I felt like it would be perfect to share that information, like to talk about it, you know. So tune in next week with us, definitely, for a segment on footprints. I want to thank you very much for tuning in today with us on my story time here on Royal Vybz Network. Definitely, if you guys enjoyed the story time, hit that like button. If you're new to the kingdom, make sure you're subscribed, turn on your notifications, make sure you're you'll get notified every single time we upload a video. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. It's been a long day. And make sure you guys go check out my podcast, Royal Chambers. I upload every Wednesday so that you guys can hear motivational self-talks and self-care and motivational self-care talks and so much more goes down in Royal Chambers. So go check me out. All the links are in the bio below. So stay plugged in with us and hit me up on Royal Vybz Network as well. For any request or anything you want to put in as well for Royal Vybz Network. And comment down below, you know, if you have lost anyone this year. That's another thing. The reason why I'm talking about this, because like so many losses experienced this year, so many people, you know, I've lost this year, so a few people this year. I have close friends and family that lost a few people this year. So like, it's a year of losses. So I felt like this is the time to share this story and then talk about the mourning process and footprints next week. So I do hope you guys enjoy this content. It is a little bit of a switch up from my norm that I would put on this channel as far as story times and hot topics go. So everybody have a safe and blessed time out there. We're in November into, you know, the home stretch for Thanksgiving and holidays and getting out of this year. Everybody do the most, be the most, and stay extra at all times. And bye.